All right, guys, we've made it to the short-term perspective. This is where things get really interesting. This is where we start looking at the equity open and how to master it, okay? So when we're looking at the equity open, okay, and we're going to cover a London session model and the final hour macro as well, some PM session, but the equity open is what I'm going to assume most of you guys want to trade. This is personally what I trade, is the equity open, and all of these lessons leading up to that 9:30 a.m. video are important because we need to determine whether equity open is going to be distribution or is equity open going to be manipulation. Okay, we can know this beforehand. This is one of the lessons you need to be able to first determine that. Okay, so this is an extremely important topic regarding the equity open because it determines if we're even going to trade the equity open, right? This analysis that we're going to be doing by market profiling Asia and London is what is going to help us determine that. Sometimes, as many of you guys know, you've got chopped up in the AM session, right? That's because you're not market profiling London and Asia's price action. So we'll know if we're even going to skip, okay, the New York AM session and focus on the PM session instead. When do we avoid the AM session? When London is extremely large, avoid the AM session. Focus on the PM session. When Asia expands and London expands heavily in one direction with no retracement, avoid the AM session, and we are going to focus on the PM session, okay? Really important. If Asia and London are not overly extended, then New York AM session is tradable, okay? So here's a diagram. So let's say as you're approaching New York, let's say it's 8:45 a.m. You come, you sit down on your charts. What is the first thing you do? You profile the market using Asia and London sessions, price action. Asian session, big expansion. London session, big expansion without a deep retracement into Asia. What happens next? Equity open will be chop. This is where you get chopped in equity open when you're not profiling Asia and London, right? And then the PM session is where the move is going to happen, right? So this is really, really crucial to becoming a master at that equity open. Okay, another example here. Even if Asia is consolidation, but London is extremely large, same thing is going to happen. You're going to see a choppy AM session, and PM session is likely to be that clean move in the direction of the daily candle. Okay, here's an example. Okay, so this is how you'd be looking at the chart. Notice I've removed all the data from equity open, okay, because this is how you'd be looking at the chart when you sit down at 8:30 a.m. Okay, 8:30 a.m. you come, you sit on your chart. What do you first do? You map midnight to midnight and then the overnight session, London session, and you look at it and you determine, okay, Asia was consolidation, but then look at London. This is overly extended, massive move, okay? What do you do then? You leave your desk, okay? You don't bother watching New York. You come back at 1 p.m. for the PM session, okay? You don't even bother with it because this is where you're going to get chopped up trying to trade the AM session on these days. Look at what happens then. AM session, a complete mess, okay? Range high, range low with the AM session. We run out the range low and then look at the move in PM session. Real easy move in PM session, easily identifiable before due to the market profiling of the previous session, right? So this is previous session characteristics and how they're going to help us in determining which session is going to be high probability before it even happens. Okay, here's another example. Look at London and Asia's range, right? It's clearly identifiable to your eye, right? That it's overly extended. MMXM, how many pips is it? No. It's not a select number of pips. Does it clearly look overextended? Yes or no? Really simple. Do not overcomplicate these charts, right? You have too much in your mind and you go into analysis paralysis. This, when I'm looking at it at 8:30, I'm like, yeah, that's really overextended. I don't even bother with equity open. Later, I come back and then this is what happens, right? This is 8:30 to 11, chop, right? Then lunch hour gives a move. We don't trade that. Running out. New York AM sessions low there. We get a dealing range, low to high here. Discount fair value gap, look at the beautiful move in PM session. All identifiable before equity open even occurs, before 8:30 a.m. even occurs, right? We know we're going to catch this move in the PM session. Okay, here's an example of profiling the market and realizing AM session, yeah, we're gonna trade AM session. Why? Because Asia did set a low here, right? Range low, range high. We take the range low, we get a change in the state of delivery here. Okay, the market then trades slightly higher, and look at this. Is this overly extended to your eye? No, clearly not. Then we have a discount low, premium high here. The market runs out relative equal lows. If you're bullish and there's relative equal lows, what do? You wait for the relative equal lows to get run. Then look at the AM session. Post 9:30. This move down is 9:30 a.m. manipulation. Okay, close above the bearish fair value gap here, becomes an IFVG to long there, trades back down into it, offering one more entry, and then a very nice clean move to the buy stops here. Why? Because the overnight sessions are not overly extended. Another example of that, range low, range high, Asia consolidation, right? No major move. London ends up being the manipulation for the day. Okay, then we extend higher. AM session, continuation. Look at the move in AM session. Real clean, real easy, one-sided direction to the buy stops. Right? We know it will be clean way before it happens because we've profiled the market. Okay, another example here. Relative equal highs, right? Draw on liquidity. Discount low, premium high, market trades deep into discount. Okay, runs at a short-term low. We get a change in the state of delivery with this up close candle. We close above it right there. We also form a bearish fair value gap, right? Now, if we're profiling the market just before 8:30 a.m., what do we see? We see slow price action downside on Asia. London manipulates, gets a change in the state of delivery. No major price swings, no overextension. We can trade AM session. We know it will be clean. And then we see a nice solid one-sided move to the buy stops. Really easy to catch and really easy to anticipate beforehand. Okay, so it's really important you digest this because like I said, this to determine equity open being distribution or manipulation so you don't get wrecked is going to be the first step. We need to do this first, right? Okay, so really important that you digest this lesson and understand it because it's critical to that 9:30 a.m. open and mastering it.